Martina Navratilova urges bigger courts as Alex Eala becomes tennis top crowd magnet. What unfolded at Melbourne Park during Alex Eala's Australian Open debut was not just a scheduling miscalculation. It was a loud, unmistakable signal that women's tennis has a new box office force, and that tournament organizers may already be playing catch-up. Eala's first-round match at the Australian Open was placed on Court 6, one of the venue's smaller show courts. Hours before the match, long lines of fans, many draped in Philippine flags, wrapped around walkways and spilled into adjacent areas. As capacity filled, security eventually advised late arrivals to stop lining up. Hundreds never made it inside. Videos of the jammed entrances and restless crowds quickly went viral, reinforcing a reality that has followed Eala across continents. Wherever she plays, Filipinos follow. Few voices in tennis carry more authority on such matters than Martina Navratilova, and the 18-time Grand Slam champion did not mince words when asked about the scenes. While praising the fans' discipline and enthusiasm, she pointed to the root of the issue: anticipation, or the lack of it. "Well, Lindsay was trying to get there. It's amazing that people were so nicely standing in line. But they would be there for at least an hour, if they ever got to the match, so kudos to the fans. The players have no idea this is happening," Navratilova said during a Tennis Channel discussion. Her most pointed observation, however, was directed squarely at organizers. "I think the organizers need to keep more in mind where the players are from and what the actual fan base is here, because there is massive Filipino audience here in Melbourne and Australia. So keep that in mind next time you make the schedule," she added. The Melbourne episode was not an isolated case. Over the past year, Eala has quietly emerged as the biggest crowd drawer in women's tennis, driven by one of the most passionate and mobile fan bases in global sport. In Hong Kong, local tournament officials reported queues stretching well beyond venue entrances whenever Eala was scheduled to play, with tickets selling out early and walk-up fans turned away. Similar scenes played out in Macau, where Filipino supporters arrived hours in advance, filling stands and creating atmospheres more reminiscent of national team events than regular tour matches. Even fellow players have taken notice. Earlier this January, Croatian standout Donna Vekic openly remarked on the consistency of Eala's support, noting that Filipino fans continued cheering regardless of scorelines or opponents. Half-joking, Vekic suggested Filipinos should adopt her as well, a lighthearted nod to the visibility and warmth of Eala's following, even toward those sharing the court with her. In Melbourne, that energy was palpable from the opening game. Eala surged to his stunning first set against Alicia Parks, fueled by roars that echoed well beyond Court 6. While the American eventually asserted her power to close out the match, the result felt secondary to the spectacle around it. Eala stayed on court long after the handshake, signing autographs and acknowledging fans who had waited hours just to catch a glimpse. In an era when tournaments compete fiercely for attention, Eala represents something increasingly rare: organic star power. She does not need a primetime slot to draw interest. The interest follows her. Navratilova's comments captured what many observers have already concluded: that court assignments and scheduling models must evolve alongside the sport's changing demographics. Alex Eala may still be early in her Grand Slam journey, but in terms of live draw, few players in tennis can match her right now. The crowds in Melbourne, Hong Kong, and Macau have already delivered their verdict. The question left hanging after the Australian Open is whether organizers will listen and finally give the sport's most magnetic attraction the stage her fans are clearly demanding.